Take heart, it is I. Dear friends, the readings of today's liturgy present to us two theophanies or epiphanies, outshining or manifestation of the divinity. In the life of Moses, we read about the theophanies of God in the Old Testament. The book of Exodus tells us that God appeared to him on Mount Sinai in the midst of thunder and lightning in the form of clouds and fire. Prophet Elijah came to the Mount Horeb and rested in a cave. The word of the Lord came to him, saying, to go out of the cave and to stand before the Lord who is to pass that way. There was a storm, an earthquake, and fire, but God was not in all these. The theophany of God for Elijah was a gentle whisper. By passing all the other usual familiar manifestations of God, Elijah encounters God in a gentle whisper. Mighty churches, great assemblies of prayer and worship, and unusual healings strike our attention. Are we tuned to encounter the Lord in simple things of life, like the smile of a child, in the stillness of silent prayer, the cry of a poor person? These are also the theophanies of God, like the gentle whisper. The Gospel of today presents to us another type of theophany of God. Jesus sends away the crowd which followed him. He also sends his disciples on the boat to the other side, while Jesus went up to the mountain alone to pray. The boat in which the disciples were traveling was facing a fierce storm and strong waves. At that time, Jesus comes towards them walking on the sea. The disciples were frightened, thinking that it was a ghost. But Jesus cries out, "Take heart, it is I, do not be afraid." It is I reminds us of the manifestation of God to Moses in the burning bush. When Moses asked God for his name, the Lord replied, "I am who I am." In this theophany too, the Lord reveals himself to the disciples in the same way. It is I. The faith of the disciples is strengthened by this theophany, and it generates action in them. Peter says, "If it is you, allow me to come to you." Jesus invited him, and he walked on the water, but seeing the wind and the waves around, he lost his focus on the Lord, and he began to sink. He cried out, "Lord, save me!" And Jesus held him and takes him into the boat, and immediately the storm subsided. Walking on the sea and calming the sea are all activities assigned to God in the Old Testament. Hence the disciples easily discerned these signs and worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." In our life journeys too, we face storms of various types. Paralyzed by fear and anxiety, we are not able to see the Lord in the midst of the storm, and our fear transforms him into a ghost. Faith has the power to enlighten us and make us see the Lord present and hear his voice. Take heart, it is I, do not be afraid. May the Spirit of God lead us gently to see the tender love of God in all the circumstances of our life. For as Paul instructs his Bishop Timothy, Holy Spirit is not a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-control. God bless you.